Hello, welcome. My name is David Wilkinson. I am your instructor for this class. Unfortunately, it looks like we will not be able to meet in person at all this semester. So this is what you get. You get me on a video screen talking to you. But I look forward to interacting with you. Hopefully we can make this fairly interactive through our Canvas discussion boards, through email, messaging, and things like that. And we'll be able to get to know each other a little bit throughout the semester. So wanted to at least introduce myself, let you get to know a little bit about me, about who your instructor is before this class starts. My name is David Wilkinson. I am a deputy with the Orange County Sheriff's Department. I've been with the Sheriff's Department for 3 years, and that has been my whole career in law enforcement, has been with the Orange County Sheriff's Department. I've been teaching at Fullerton College for a little over a year, just part-time, just one class. This is actually the only class I'm teaching, this Introduction to Law Enforcement course, and through the dual enrollment program. So that's what I'm doing. Besides teaching this class and then being a law enforcement officer, I'm also in school. So just like you, I'm a student as well. I'm currently a student at Biola University. I'm looking to get my master's degree there. I'm taking a program in intercultural studies. So I'm in an intercultural studies program to get my master's degree through Biola University. And at the same time, because I like school so much, I'm also taking some master's level classes through California Coast University to get a master's degree in criminal justice. So doing both those programs currently right now. So I'm currently a student just like you, just going at the graduate level, trying to get some master's degrees. My educational background is I got a bachelor's degree from the University of Laverne. This was ages ago. Unfortunately, I'm getting old, but back in 2006, 5, one of those years, I graduated from the University of Laverne with a bachelor's degree in social science. Social science is kind of a made-up degree. It was a little bit of political science, a little bit of sociology, a little bit of anthropology, and a little bit of history. So I kind of was able to use all those topics, all those subjects, which are all interests of mine, anthropology, sociology, history, and political science, and put all those together into a social science major and a social science degree. So that was my degree from the University of Laverne. Prior to the University of Laverne, I did go to community college. So very much like you guys are starting off on a community college career, I started off with community college. I went to Citrus College and got my associate's degree from Citrus College before transferring to the University of Laverne. So I highly recommend community college. It was a great opportunity for me, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity for you as well. Let's see. So that's my education. And then let's talk about my family. I have a beautiful family. Let me share pictures here, because pictures are always more fun. These are my kids. I currently have 4 kids and not planning on having any more kids anytime soon. So yeah, this is Abigail. She is 7. And this is Hazel. She's 5. Elijah is 3. And then the baby sister, Betsy, is 1. So those are my beautiful kids. Just total joy in my life. That's another thing I do in my free time is I homeschool them, kind of. My wife does most of the homeschooling right now, obviously with our 7-year-old in 2nd grade and our 5-year-old who's supposed to be in kindergarten but is kind of doing 1st grade work anyway. So those two, but I get to do some of the fun stuff. I get to do math, I get to do science, and just this semester I started trying to teach them piano, which is really fascinating because I don't know how to play piano at all. So I'm trying to learn piano at the same time while they're learning piano. And it's actually a lot of fun. I wish I would have started a lot sooner. But that's what I do with a lot of my free time is I spend time with my beautiful family. I have a picture here of my wife also. This is my wife, Kristen. This picture is just from November. So in November, we did a half marathon. So both of our first half marathons ever. And that was great. We had to do it virtually because all the normal official races were canceled due to COVID. So we just kind of did our own with some close friends and family. And we did the 13.1 miles and ended up running down at the beach. As you can see from her shirt, straight out of chemo, she just finished treatment for breast cancer. So she was diagnosed with breast cancer a little over a year and a half ago. And so then November kind of marked the little over a year since she was first diagnosed, treatment was done. And as a celebration, she wanted to do a half marathon, which is crazy because she's never run. She's not a runner, never been a runner. She probably never ran more than like 1 mile, except maybe once in her whole life. And so for whatever reason, after she went through this whole traumatic experience of being diagnosed with breast cancer, having a baby, then starting this treatment, she decided, you know what, I'm going to do a half marathon to prove that I'm in control of my body. My body's not in control of me. And just it's empowering. And I was really proud of her. And so I did it along with her, did a lot of running this last year, and it was really good. So she did it, did the whole 13.1 miles, super proud of her. And I didn't think she'd ever run again, but surprisingly enough, she still runs every once in a while just for fun and exercise and stuff like that. But that was just this last November. She's doing great. And we're very, extremely thankful that she is doing as well as she's doing after that diagnosis. But yeah, so that's my family. And let's see. So I got my education, my family. So most interesting to you will probably be my career. So like I said, I'm a deputy with the sheriff's department here in Orange County. A deputy is different than a police officer, right? So I always like to clarify that a police officer works for a city, right? A police department in a city. Deputies are law enforcement officers, but we work through the county. So a little bit different jurisdiction. But essentially the same role, right? As a law enforcement officer, we still have the same authority and roles and responsibilities as police officers. But of course, within law enforcement, there's a ton of different roles within law enforcement. So not every cop does the same thing. We all have different roles within our different departments and within our different jurisdictions. So currently I am in our custody operations, which means I work in one of our Orange County jails. My role in the jail is the care and custody of people who are arrested. So people who are inmates who are arrested, put in jail for whatever reason, they are then in, under my, responsibility in working in the jail. So I actually really enjoy working in the jail. It's a great learning experience for me because I get to know what criminals are like, what people are arrested for, the different intricacies of their cases and their charges and things like that. And also just how to deal with people and work with people, oftentimes difficult people, which is something law enforcement officers have to do, is deal with difficult people and work through difficult situations like that. Yeah, so I currently work in our jail. And I work night shift. So that's important for you to know. If I send you a message or an email at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, that's because I'm used to being up at night. I sleep during the day, I stay up at night, I work at night. So if you get an email from me in the middle of the night, that's because could be grading papers or grading your assignments or looking at your discussions in the middle of the night. Let's see, what else? I wish you could ask questions. This is just one of those things where I got to get used to talking to a blank screen because you guys can't respond and ask me questions. So if you have any questions about me, about my background, my family, my experience, my education, anything like that, I'd be happy to answer that. I want this class to be as interactive as possible. I want to get to know you and interact with you as much as possible. So if you have any questions, feel free to send the message or put in a comment. And I look forward to this semester, and we'll talk to you more soon.